everyone, and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you just the one tip for tomorrow's horse racing action. Now, before we get stuck into that, I quickly just want to reflect on how our selections ran today. In the end, it was a disappointing day. Our nap of the day, Falberto, Leicester, in the opening race there, finished in second place. And really, from the start, I don't think we were ever going to have the winner there. The winner, Paracolour for David Pipe, was up there, forcing the pace throughout. And I just think those tactics today were the key to winning that race. And just by giving him the head start, kind of signed, sealed and delivered it for him, in my opinion. And Falberto travelled well enough, you know, and he looked like he might pose a threat, but he just wasn't good enough on the day to get by, and in the end had no excuses. So yeah, really disappointing there with Falberto. And then the other selection that did run for us today was Henri Le Bon for Kerry Lee in the following race at Leicester. And I thought at one point we were going to have a chance there of hitting the frame. We recommended it each way, and I thought at some part in the race we were going to be there fighting at least for a place. Ran well, like I said, for a long way, but then when it turned into the home straight, it just couldn't kick on with a few of the others that were fighting it out for the win. So yeah, probably needed the run in hindsight now, and it's one maybe potentially for the tracker, but we'll have to see how it develops there with him. But yeah, not a great day for us today, and our two other selections were non-runners, so if you back them as singles as recommended with Trans Express, and also as well Zada Elf, who I thought was actually going to be a winner for us, and he became a late non-runner as well. So yeah, a little bit of a disappointing day today, nothing to write home about, but hopefully we can put that in the distant past and move onwards and upwards for tomorrow. Now, before I begin, if you haven't done so already, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Really appreciate all the support you give. And if you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. And it means every time I upload a video, you'll get a notification on your YouTube app or your YouTube desktop. Just make sure you hit the subscribe button. So let's get into the tip and the nap for tomorrow. And it's going to be an each way nap tomorrow, which runs in the 2:33 at Fakenham. And I'm going to be going with a horse here called A Little Chaos, which is currently available at 9-1. There's 7 runners available at the moment, and despite there only being 2 places on offer, I am going to recommend an each way selection. However, if that's not your style, just back it for win purposes. But this horse is trained by Stuart Edmonds, who's an underrated trainer in my opinion, and he's booked Tom O'Brien to ride this horse tomorrow. Now, Stuart Edmonds is in fairly decent form at the moment. He had a winner at Leicester today, and he's operating at a 25% strike rate, and he's got an excellent record at the track. He's got a 31% all-time strike rate at Fakenham, and he's saddled 12 winners from 39 runners. And I think if you backed all of his runners to a £1 stake, you would be up £43.67. So definitely a trainer to take note of when he sends runners to Fakenham. And this horse that he's sending there tomorrow, Little Chaos, our nap, is actually a course and distance winner. So that's a nice tick in the box there. And if you look back through her form, she actually does have some nice form in the bag. Now, a couple of seasons ago, when she was a novice hurdler, she won over the course and distance, like I said, and then she kicked on and defied a penalty to win at Market Raisin, beating some useful types in that race. So she definitely does have some form in the bag. Her run after that came at Newbury when she ran in the Mares qualifier, or the Mares handicap final there at Newbury, where ideally I just think she got outstayed, and 2.5 miles isn't her trip, and in the end finished in 6th place. And then we didn't see her for quite a while, and then she came back a few weeks ago at Fakenham over 2.5 miles, taking on some of the boys, you know, so it was always going to be a tough ask for her first time after a layoff. And also as well, she was joint top weight with the winner in that race, Carrie's Commodity. Now, for that effort, she's been dropped £2. And if you look back at the race, she finished in 5th place at the end, but she ran well for a very long way. She's a horse that likes to get up with the pace, dictate things. She likes to be prominent, and that style of racing can often suit at Fakenham. If you can get into a good rhythm, you know, and set the pace, sometimes it's very beneficial to be up there. And I think if she deploys those tactics tomorrow, she could well be in with a great chance of going very close in this race. Now, there's a couple of others in here that might want to go forward. Dr. Richard Newland's horse, also as well Harry Skelton's horse, but I think A Little Chaos might have a little bit of a class edge over this field and has been slightly forgotten in this market. Now the favourite, or one of the favourites, will be the Alan King horse, who brings some good form, running in a listed Mares Hurdle at Wetherby last time out, which actually featured Verdana Blue and Mrs Hyde, and Mrs Hyde's got some good form in the book. However, I just think that coming back into a handicap, carrying top weight tomorrow, could be slightly difficult for this horse, and she might arguably want slightly further. And our selection tomorrow is going to be getting £12 from Alan King's horse, and I think in a race like this, it might be a bit of a tough ask for her, and if it gets a bit messy, especially up in front, it might not suit her. So for me, I just think a little chaos tomorrow, coming in from a yard in form, a previous course winner. The conditions will be in her favour as well. Currently good ground at Fakenham. She won on good to soft, so that shouldn't be an issue for her. She's a good jumper as well, and I'd encourage anyone to go back and watch the race replay, because she did run very well for a long way, and she just blew up in the last couple of furlongs, and she was still finding out in front for a while, and it just stunk of a horse that would come on and strip fitter for the run. So she's got that tick in the box. And also as well, the form from that race, I should have said, hasn't worked out too badly. You had I always forget if it's Mercy and King or Mercy and Prince, but Amy Murphy's horse that finished in 6th place went and bolted up in a chase at Kempton last week. So the form doesn't look too bad. Yes, she was well beaten by the winning distance, but she was entitled to need that run. It was her first run for nearly 500 odd days. So yeah, put a line through that run, and I think this time she'll be primed. I think 9-1, she's a very good tasty price for me, and I do fancy her chances of going very close. To drop back down and trip to 2 miles should absolutely suit, and I think this horse will go very close tomorrow, and fingers crossed we can have a good nap. We haven't had a big price winning nap for a little while. Okay, 9-1 isn't the biggest price in the world, but it'd be nice to get one. I don't often do it as well, and normally when I do fancy one at a price, I will put it up as my nap. You might remember, put up a few, especially when we're going through that great nap run in September. We had a couple of 8-1 nap winners, and fingers crossed that we can follow the same suit tomorrow. So yeah, that's going to be it in the 233, the only tip of the day at Fakenham. A little chaos, 9-1 each way for Tom O'Brien and Stuart Edmonds. So if you haven't done so already, please remember to hit that subscribe button and give us the thumbs up. Also as well, if you want to follow me on social media, you can do, where my handle is at LuckyLoader15. And if you want to find out a little bit more about myself, my website, there's a link to it in the description box below. It's www.chrisloaderracing.co.uk. So please gamble responsibly. Hopefully we can have a winning nap tomorrow from our only selection of the day, and we'll be seeing you soon.